You said my intros were too fucking loud. Are you happy now? Okay, I got pause that shit. Holy shit. Okay. Someone kept complaining that my intros were too long because I wanted to get to the good part of the song. So I picked, how fucking long was this? It was like 1 minute and 42 seconds. So there you go. There's the quick intro for you. I hope you were fucking happy. And that shit gave me a fucking headache even just listening to it right now. All right. Okay, so I meant to record this over the weekend, but I was sick since Thursday, and this is like the third or fourth time I've gotten fucking sick since I've gotten... See? I'm gonna try not to make too many disgusting sounds. I swear to... Okay. It's like the third or fourth time I've gotten fucking sick from going back to my gym because I don't know what the students in my town are doing. They just keep fucking their dogs or something, passing whatever they catch to me because I'm getting fucking sick of this. So, I mean, I used to work out at a gym that was nothing but old people, and I never had this issue. So this is like the third fucking time I've gotten some kind of fever, dengue fever from these fucking people. All right. So I do have, I did a lot more preparation for this episode because this program is really fucking shitty. So I have some notes because I do have a topic that's going to be the bulk of this episode. And I have some notes so I can try to kind of at least maybe have some kind of coherent thought or point to this. So I have it written down on my phone. I have some clips. I have some videos to show you because I want to briefly comment on on current events, kind of related to film. But first off, let me make sure this is the right. Yeah, this should be the right image. Okay. Real quick, I got my copy of Mass State Lottery, which was I was at the United States premiere in Athens, Georgia, for this movie, which was the first film premiere I've been to, which was a very, very fucking weird experience. But I did get my Blu-ray today, and hopefully I'll use this as a means to maybe get some fucking, like, maybe he'll share this so I can get some fucking eyeballs on this program so I can at least get to 100 views. So, okay. Let's start with, let me make sure, hold on. Okay, because I might just switch back to here because I don't want to have that fucking song play again. Okay. All right, let's start with the warm-up. I'm going to do flags this time. I don't want to do no fucking easy version. Hold on. Pin. Okay, is there like a select version? Wait, I thought where's it just like the one where I select the flags? Cities, physical features, Central Africa, map games. Where the fuck is the... Hold on. Where's the easy I just want like the normal flag version. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, here. Okay, God, why? I'm retarded. All right.
Togo.
Oh my God, that fucking is loud. Oh my God. Okay. Fuck. That is Sao Tome. Mali. Great start we're off to. Okay.
Djibouti.
Oh my God, this one? I swear I'm normally better at these. Okay, hold on.
Equatorial Guinea.
Oh my god.
Tanzania.
Okay, hold on. I shouldn't. No, that's not Tanzania. Oh my. I'm actually gonna kill myself. Okay.
Seychelles.
Okay, I know that one. I know that one.
Cameroon.
This one.
Sao Tome and Principe.
Here.
Egypt.
Okay, I know that one. Here.
Comoros.
Oh my god. Who gives a shit? Why am I making myself do this?
Madagascar.
Okay.
Somalia.
Okay, I know Somalia.
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Benin. Mauritania.
That's Guinea-Bissau. That is Algeria. That's Nigeria. Oh my god.
Zimbabwe.
Fuck my life. All right. Fuck. I should know this one. That's South Sudan. Oh my god.
Gambia.
Okay, I know the Gambia. I know this one.
Uganda.
Uganda's easy.
Central African Republic.
This one? That's Democratic Republic of Congo. Bro, they need to fucking
Guinea.
Guinea. That's a slur. Oh my god, I am so raped.
Sierra Leone.
Okay. This is not this is
Mozambique.
Okay, I know Mozambique. Okay, we're
South Africa.
okay.
Chad.
Okay. Hot take, South Africa is my favorite flag, and people give me shit for that.
Republic of the Congo.
Okay. That's Democratic Republic of the Congo. Okay.
Angola.
I know Angola. I think Angola's
Libya.
flag's too over the top, personally. Libya.
Burkina Faso. Ivory Coast.
That's Niger. Oh my god, I'm like actually gonna kill myself. I'm like
Cape Verde.
I'm slipping away. Cape Verde has a weird flag. No.
Ghana.
I'm not even thinking about what. Hold on.
Malawi.
That's Mali, right? Yeah. That's Zambia. Okay.
Morocco.
Okay, Morocco should be.
Niger. Lesotho.
Lesotho is this one. That's Botswana. Fuck. Oh, it's this one. Okay.
Guinea-Bissau.
That's Senegal. Oh my god.
Zambia. Liberia. Ethiopia.
Okay. Fuck, I forgot. Oh, here. That's Eritrea.
Burundi.
I want to be shot in the fucking head.
Kenya.
Okay, I know Kenya.
Mauritius. Mali. Democratic Republic of the Congo. Senegal.
I need to turn.
Eswatini.
That's Gabon. I'm not even.
Namibia.
Oh my god.
South Sudan.
I swear, I used to get like 90% on this. Now I'm like actually gonna kill myself.
Algeria.
Okay.
Sudan. Eritrea. Rwanda.
That's
Nigeria. Gabon. Botswana.
That was an embarrassment. Okay. All right. So that failed at my the whole point of me doing that is so I can lock in, and instead I have just thoroughly raped myself. All right. So okay, all right, I'll get into the actual fucking content now. All right. So this is one of the movies I watched this week. I'm not going to talk about it because it kind of fucking sucks, to be honest, but you'll see why. I'm going to play this clip from it, and you'll see why.
It's been said that the test of a man's courage is how he performs in the face of danger. Well, in the next half hour, you're going to meet a very unique breed of cat. The kind of man who doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. Rex Kramer, part-time airline mechanic, full-time daredevil. A man willing to risk his life for the sake of adventure. He has to chase it, confront it, and whip it. Rex Kramer, Danger Seeker.
Hey, what the fuck?
And so that is what has transpired at this recent BAFTA awards. As everyone knows, I'm not gonna say too much on this. To be honest, I just use that as an excuse to play that clip. But people have been pointing out how it's a James. What the fuck? Oh, I can't highlight any of it. Okay, so people pointed out that it's odd that Jamie Foxx specifically, who was the lead in Django Unchained, was commenting on this. But I'm not gonna give too much takes on like the social politics around this. It should be pretty obvious what my position is as a vocal chud. But I just thought it just made me think about how really the only context people will accept for saying the N-word is if it's in a movie. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not like, I'm not being rhetorical when I say I really don't get why. So it's like if a guy with Tourette's says it, then it's a problem. But when like it's okay when it's like in a movie 500 times. And I really don't know what I don't know. It's like if you say it for a Jewish producer, it's fine. But if you say it because your brain doesn't work fucking right, then that's a problem. And I mean, with like the Tourette's thing, I wasn't surprised by the reaction to it because I've seen the same thing with like schizophrenics, and it's like if you were to have a graph on the y-axis is likelihood of saying the N-word, on the x-axis it is severity of schizophrenia. The rise over run of every point that you plot on that graph is going to be 1-to-1. So I really don't understand why there is no tolerance for obvious mental illness, but there is tolerance really only if it's for a film. And I mean, again, I have no fucking idea. Oh my god, I actually threw up in my mouth. I have no idea. Oh, by the way, when I was sick, I've been self-medicating by day drinking, so don't do that. I really don't have any idea why. It's like, okay, I guess just like if you're gonna say the N-word, you better fucking make sure that the cameras are rolling. I guess that's the only takeaway you can have from this. But okay, so I'm gonna get onto the topic of this. Okay, thank God. I was so fucking scared that the song was gonna start playing again. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna spend like a while talking about what is considered to be the greatest existential threat to not just Hollywood, but cinema itself as an art form, which is AI. And I really don't think that's the case, and I'll get into why. So, I mean, that's the real topic of the day. And it's been that way since like 2023, but I don't know. You can't really say it's a fad anymore because it's not going away. It's not a fad, and it's been very, very present in the public consciousness for at least for a few years now. But this what was the recent? Hold on, there was that recent Chinese model that just came out when people were reacting to. It was a video of like Tom Cruise fighting Brad Pitt, and that people were freaking out over it. And I think people I'm surprised people haven't caught on that like that result probably took thousands of attempts to get. But I'm gonna get into why I think that this is really not going like in terms of like the idea that at least I don't know if I've seen that many people like outright say this is gonna happen, but the sort of unspoken prediction that people seem to be holding their breath for is that one day we're going to have major studios quote unquote produce or publish or whatever feature length quote unquote films that are entirely AI generated, and I don't think it's going to happen. Well, one, I think just be like I think a good heuristic to live by is that going off of physiognomy and people's tastes in media is a very good way of discrediting people's opinions. And on this case, these people have no fucking leg to stand on. I remember when this first became a big talking point around 2021 or 2022, and every single fucking time I would like click on their profile and saw the shit that they post on their public fucking profile, it was always MCU and Disney Star Wars shit. So like that alone already just signifies that these people are fucking wrong about everything. But unfortunately, I have to be good faith. I have to actually back up my opinions on facts instead of my gut knee-jerk reaction. But thankfully, I've thought about this a lot because I have nothing else to do. And I think I have a lot of pretty decent points as to why I think this is not going to fucking happen. Number one. Sorry, I'm trying not to throw up again. Number one. This is going to sound like a joke. But this is something I've never seen anyone else say. This is an entirely original thinking thought that I had, right? I seriously think a major component as to why you're not going to see like 20th century studios put out fully AI generated movies, I'm not kidding, is simply because you cannot wash $200 million with an AI generated movie. Like I literally think that the principle of money laundering prevents them from going full in on just completely automated filmmaking. But besides that, I'll real quick, I'll give my opinions on AI. I am AI in the sense of like GANs, generative adversarial networks, which I don't know if that's the term they use anymore. I don't know if these recent generative AIs are considered GANs anymore. Because I was actually pretty interested in this topic years ago when it was like squiggles, because I thought it was neat before anything legible was coming out of these models. But my since then, really, I've just been ambivalent towards this, and I really just see AI as a toy. I think, like I said earlier, like I think the appeal of AI is both its greatest strength and weakness in regards to its application, in that it is unpredictable. I see it as a toy because you can type in practically anything. You can give it any prompt to go off of, and it's going to spit out a bunch of shit that you would never think of, that you didn't want. But it's funny because it's a dumb computer and it doesn't think like a person, so it's just going to come up with a bunch of bullshit that otherwise no one, if you were to tell an artist to paint me a picture of a tree, they're going to paint you a picture of a tree because they're a person and they understand implicitly that you have certain expectations of what you want. And usually they can match that pretty well. A computer does not think like a human at all, and it's going to come up with all these weird artifacts that you would never think of, that an artist would never put in there. And that's what makes it fun, is that you don't know what you're going to get. It's sort of like a I don't know, like I guess a slot machine would be a good point of comparison. And that for that reason, I don't understand why people get so fucking mad about it because sorry. Sorry, I'm wasting away. I never every single time I sit down to record one of these fucking things, I never am in like in a perfect mind. I'm like feeling like shit. My scalp, my fucking face is like burning. Sorry. Okay. Fuck, what was my point? Okay, like people will see, especially on social. I know a lot. Like it's pretty. I'm not the first person to say a lot of the anti AI shit's very performative. I think that's pretty obvious. But like, it's like I mean, it's gotten to such a point that like it's like I'm like almost convinced that this is like a psyop. Because straight up, people will see shit like this, and they will feel the need to moral fag about it. Like this is killing art. By the way, speaking of it, you know how many attempts it took me to get this? And this is not even what I did was I wanted it to be Charlie Kirk, but I guess for some I guess I mean I had to use Grok. I guess Grok doesn't want you to make funny images of Charlie Kirk cuz that would be insulting of the dead. So I tried Watto from Star Wars, and I think because that's another point I'm gonna get to. I think because it's copyrighted, it wouldn't give me Watto, but for some reason, Five Nights at Freddy's is okay, so I just went with that. And by the way, for this, I typed in Chica, and it gave me Golden Freddy instead. They even have like the little tufts of feathers on the head, but that was the closest thing to my vision of. And like they kept making Epstein way too young and never looked like him, and it was a fucking nightmare to get this one stupid fucking image, which is exactly my point, is that it's unpredictable, which is both the fun and the frustration of it. And this is why, but I think that's a huge reason why I think it's limited if you're trying to make a product. Sure, there's people who don't care about the outcome, but at a certain point, you kind of have to. And that's like, I guess like that's like the like I'm uncharacteristically optimistic about this, but in the sense that I don't think AI is going to be the death of cinema. I think honestly the people who think AI is going to be the death of cinema are the real problem. I don't that's a discussion for another day, but like I just really don't I just can't see I'm trying to imagine people 10 years from now, they're paying $60 a month for a streaming service, and all the content on there is 3-hour long, fully AI generated feature films, and people will willingly pay to watch that from beginning to end. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Even the dumbest Edomite Goyim ever to live, but if they were to like seriously contend with AI as art, they're not going to watch a feature-length film of AI. It's going to be short-form content. And even, like, I'm not above, like, brain rot and slop. I have a great sense of humor. But I cannot watch anything that's generated longer than 15 seconds. I cannot watch The Will Stancil Show, for example, because it's so off-putting and disjointed, both just on a visual and audio level. Even though I know it's gonna that technology is going to consistently improve, but even then it's just like I just can't stomach it. Even if it's like looks good, quote unquote, it looks decent enough, I still can't like tolerate it. And I know I'm a very bad sample of the average person. I'm not being like, oh, I'm better than everybody. I'm like horrifically dysfunctional and schizoid personality disorder, but I just don't think that's gonna happen, because it's like I don't think that's gonna ever. Again, if they're gonna like tolerate, if they have the stomach for this shit, they're not gonna watch a 3-hour long movie. I don't feel like. But I think in terms of like the prediction that this is gonna be the future of cinema, my next point is that it reminds me a lot of in the early 2000s, the sort of mild kind of I don't want to say craze, but interest in motion capture and 3D, more so motion capture. And I think a lot about Robert Zemeckis, his Image Mover studio that infamously failed. And I think that's a perfect point of comparison because the motion capture technology has not gone away. It's pretty ubiquitous in modern big budget filmmaking. But we don't see, except for Avatar, I guess, we really don't see any fully motion capture films anymore because the technology advances so fast that it ages terribly. And even back then, people thought it was fucking creepy and uncomfortable. And a lot of people feel that way about AI now. And I think paradoxically, as it gets more and more advanced, it's gonna have more and more of that effect. Hold on, give me a second. My cat wants to get out. Well, you know what? I'll let her in because she'll start crying the second I let her out. So fuck her. Okay. And that's like, it's just like the audience rejected the notion of having fully motion capture films. And I feel like what's gonna happen in about 5 to 10 years, you're gonna have somebody who's going to really push for fully AI films, and you'll have 1 or 2 major releases, and at best it's gonna have a very, very mixed reception critically and financially, and eventually it's gonna fail. But that being said, AI is not gonna go anywhere in terms of its application in filmmaking because it's already been that way. Like, this is what I keep telling people. Because, okay, so I remember years ago, I had, from the library, I rented out a book. I think it was published around the time Two Towers came out. But it was basically making of behind the scenes book on how Weta Workshop created all the different creatures for Lord of the Rings Fellowship and the Two Towers. And I remember reading about the software they had to develop for the large battle sequences, especially in the prologue. So I can't remember what the actual backronym means, but the program's called Massive. And each individual soldier is controlled somewhat. It basically has a very, very simple AI guiding its actions. So they're not just like flailing around doing bullshit. They actually are fighting one another, and they actually are behaving somewhat rationally. And that's AI. That's like, they're not like, there's no way that artists can hand animate hundreds of thousands of orcs in a scene. They had to actually have the computer do it. Here, I'll play a little bit of this.
As if you make three-dimensional people inside the computer. That's what Massive enables you to do, to build creatures or characters or agents, as we call them, that can do their own thing. We can have thousands of them running around in a three-dimensional environment where we don't have to tell them specifically what to do. We just say, go that way and fight those guys, and they'll do it.
I think the biggest shot that we did in film 1 was 40,000 people. The biggest one that we've currently done to date is 12,000 inside Helm's Deep, and I don't think that we'll get much bigger than that because we just can't fit any more inside there.
There are different traits for each of the agents and each of the battles. They all have their own style of fighting. They have different styles of fighting based on the weapons that each one carries. Orc fighting with a sword would handle it differently than perhaps a spear. All those things are built into it, so they know how to use their weapons, and they know how to use their weapons, against an enemy.
It's kind of like sending the digital guys to acting class. So if you think of them as a cast member, you say you're going to be an Urkai soldier and you're going to attack Helm's Deep, and say you're going to get this armor on, and your job is to go run up to this wall and either stick ladders up like you're going to do the siege, or start firing crossbows. You literally program that into their brain.
This is
Sorry. Okay, so you see what? So there's like, would their argument be that because they have not animated every single soldier themselves, but they let a computer guide them, that they're compromising their art? I don't think so. And I feel like this is the kind of thing that AI is going to be used for. This was 25. Yeah, they just had their 25th anniversary for Fellowship. Another thing they did, I remember they did something similar for Saruman's crows, because each bird had its own, again, AI, essentially, or algorithm that guides its flight path so they wouldn't clip through each other or collide, and they would behave like a real flock of birds. And it's just like, I feel like, and also another thing, it's like, this is not new. I think people really don't I think especially like the more quote unquote art conscious people really underplay how much technology plays a role in filmmaking, especially now. Like they seem to forget what the C in CGI is. I don't know if they've ever seen what the original composition looks like before it's rendered. Because I mean, I took a course in Maya a year ago, and the final project was a walk cycle, and I rigged the model. Oh, actually, the model was already rigged for me, but I did I think it was like 6 or maybe 12 keyframes of the walk animation, and the program literally made all of the in-betweens for me. I put a light source and it rendered, I even added like bloom to it, and the computer rendered that all for me. And I don't know what is going through their heads, is that I think they seem to think that this kind of like computer animation is closer to traditional animation than it really is. Because in traditional animation, in Wholesome Chungus Studio Ghibli, you see a frame of animation, and literally everything in that frame had to have been done by hand. So if you see, let's say, water in a traditionally animated film, they had all like the motion of the waves and the color and all that had to be executed literally frame by frame by a person. Like another thing was, like, I remember like earlier during this discourse, this was around the time Avatar 2 came out, and people were touching themselves to the water physics and how good the water looked in the trailers to that movie, while also bitching about AI. And I'm thinking, do they think that all of that was done frame by frame by a person? like that's not. And again, this is not new. Like, they did this kind of shit, simulating like how the motions of large bodies of water and how light passes through them in 1997 with Titanic. Same director, James Cameron. So this is not fucking new. And I feel like with AI, this is just going to continue. This technology is going to allow... sorry, I sound like RFK right now. I'm kind of jumping around, but even though I have notes to prevent this, but like they're I don't know, they complain a lot about the conditions of visual effects artists in the industry. And I mean, like, it's just an inevitability that they're going to lose. Some people are going to lose their jobs. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of these people are dispensable. I mean, like, you see like 500 people in the credits of a Marvel movie, and it's like, I really don't think, I'm sorry, I hate this. I mean, it's a job. They're probably good at it. But let's be honest, they're not Caravaggio. It's not like Caravaggio is missing out on a commission because he got laid off. One of like 800 people for this fucking slot. But that's like, in regards to this, it's like, I feel like this technology is going to allow smaller teams of people to do more with less time. And I'm sorry, I just see that as a net positive. You're going to have, again, like smaller creators can do very ambitious visual effects that would take entire studios today to do. And that alone is going to like allow for more insular voices to create more ambitious projects, which is I think, an objective good. Visual effects studios are going to implement this, and they're gonna suffer less because they have technology that allows them to get more done quicker. So they're not gonna be killing themselves getting the shit done, and the outcome is probably gonna be better. So I'm sorry, people are gonna lose. You gotta break some fucking eggs. That's just how it is. I know it's kind of heartless, but I don't know. I don't care. But I just, that's how I, like I said, this is not new. And like people, I'm really bitter about this because I was like really in on, I mean, I'm a practical effects artist myself. I make puppets, I do makeup effects. I've been doing this for a long time. Well, I mean, I've been doing it seriously for about 5 years, but I've been toying with it for a lot longer. And so I was all in on practical effects before that became the default opinion of the internet. But people were like giving me so much shit for years about that. And it's like, for me, like shitting on CGI, but it's like a lot of people lost their jobs because of that. And a lot of people, like I've talked to people recently, and they've told me that they have issues finding work. I told that like a lot of these people now, they have to work with more so in the amusement park industry because that's where the actual jobs are, not in film. So, but like, I don't know, that made me a reactionary Luddite when I shat on CGI, and now these people are like fucking doomsaying about CGI artists losing their jobs. So I don't know, maybe I'm struggling to be a bit empathetic there. But, and one more point I'm gonna make about this. I know, because I used to think like, what if the whole AI craze is gonna be the same as like the NFT thing. Well, I mean, with the NFTs, that was just baldly retarded, and I like, it was just like, it was a joke then, and now it's like even more so. And obviously this is much greater implications and applications, and has not gone away, has not completely fallen off the face of the earth like NFTs. But that being said, like, I think people are overestimating. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, it's here to stay. Like I said, it's not going away. But I feel like a big reason why people feel especially oppressed by it right now, especially in regards to the arts, is that there's so much money being invested into this. I think like Nvidia alone is supporting the entire U.S. stock market. But that's not going to last forever. You can't pump billions and billions of dollars into this forever. It's going to slow down, and the pace of how it advances is going to slow down too. People, I mean, admittedly, that is very scary how fast it advances, but it's going to get to a point very quickly where you're going to see diminishing returns. This is the same thing with like video game graphics. In like the early, from like 2000, 2010, it was the same thing, that graphics consistently got better and better and better. And then by the mid 2010s, that slowed because of, it's less so the technology and more so external factors like time and money that really limit the quality of the output that you can have with that technology. And AI is not going to be, even though, yeah, it's for now, it's relatively, it's much cheaper and faster. Eventually it's gonna lose some steam. Eventually it just has to. Fuck, I have one more point. What was it? Fuck, there was another kind of, in terms of a white pill with AI that I've heard. I don't know how much this is. I need to look this up. I meant to look this up earlier. But a a white pill that people were talking about early on was copyright. And I don't know if that's... I completely fucking spelled that wrong. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, like I said earlier, I tried to have Epstein with Watto from Star Wars, and Grok would not let me. But it does appear, and I believe that is an issue with copyright. But it does appear that Walt Disney has, I think this was a few months ago, this is big news, but it has entered a licensing deal for 3 years with OpenAI, which is, if you know anything about Disney, is very fucking weird, because Disney is notoriously, along with Nintendo and Toei and companies like that, I'm making all kinds of fucking noise. Give me a second. Is ruthlessly protective of its brand identity. Like, you could not, famously, you can't put Mickey Mouse on a tombstone of a child, because if they allow that, then every single dead 6-year-old is going to have Mickey Mouse on their tombstone, and you're just going to see graveyards full of Mickey Mouses. And when they bought Marvel, they did the same thing with Spider-Man, which was a big controversy. But it is weird how they're so protective in that regard, but they're allowing their intellectual property to be licensed to a tool that you can be used to do virtually anything. So I can't have Mickey Mouse on the grave of my dead 3-year-old son, but I can have Jeffrey Epstein finger his ass in a AI generated video. So I don't know if that's gonna backfire. I mean, this is a 3-year deal, so I don't know what's gonna happen when that lapses or what. But I don't know if they're just experimenting with this. But that was a I guess you could say a cope for a while, is that copyright, especially considering how just like how much soulless demons that are the fucking copyright lawyers are. They would sort of put somewhat of a cap on AI, but who knows if that's ever going to actually happen. So that's just something to think about. Okay. All right, I talked for 40 minutes. Okay, I'm doing good. I will get to some movies I watched this week. Let me take a hit of cider. Right. I don't have any non-alcoholic beverages in my house, which sounds bad, but I only have some ciders, and that's it. So I should probably get some ginger ale or something so I don't kill myself. Okay. First up, I watched Joe from 1970, directed by John G. Avildsen, who's most known for directing Rocky. I'm trying to remember what convinced me to watch this now. I'm not sure, but I was interested in this because for a period about 4 years, my household played Everybody Loves Raymond nonstop 24/7. So I'm very, very, very familiar with Peter Boyle as Frank Barone. And I haven't seen him in many film roles besides his very brief appearance in Taxi Driver, and he had a very brief cameo as Vanderbilt in Walker by Alex Cox, which is a great movie. So this is like the first movie I've seen where he actually has a lot to do. And also I was very... Was that a Poussey I just saw? Was that a Cuda I just caught a glimpse of? And I was like, oh, I want to see Frank Barone blow away some libtard hippies with his gun, and I want to see him say the N-word, which he does do. But I liked it. I was a little... I don't know, I was a little underwhelmed by it. I was a bit underwhelmed by the ending, which I won't get into. They're just showing ass all over my screen. This is supposed to be a G-rated website. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Maybe I just really wanted to see more violence towards hippies. I guess that was my biggest takeaway, because I fucking hate hippies. There are people who are born after the year 1990 who fucking LARP as hippies, and I don't understand. So these people fucking hate boomers, but they skinwalk the apotheosis of boomers' complete existential failure. Like, the only, like, I just don't like, you literally are worshiping a failed social movement by the most privileged generation in American history, and the only thing that they have accomplished was they got 16-year-olds hooked on drugs and had orgies with them in vans that smelled like barns. And that's it. They failed at every other fucking thing they set out to accomplish and became the fucking nightmare people. And you fucking dress up in their shitty clothes in 2026. What the fuck is wrong with you? The filmmaking is... I believe this was shot for pretty low budget at the time. So it's not the most visually exciting film, besides the weird orgy scene towards the end. This hoe is looking... There's a shot of her next to a Raggedy Ann doll, and I was like, that was exactly what I was thinking of when I saw this Foyd. But I guess like the only reason to watch this is because of Pierre Boyle. He's pretty great in it. And I'm not gonna say he's a literally me character, because this is a public program, so I don't want to incriminate myself. So, I guess if you're if you got a face full of boils or a boil head like the... Oh fuck, hold on. What's his fucking name? No, not this Zoomer shit. Hold on, what was... Hold on. This guy. Yeah, if you're fucking this guy. Lance Boyle. Why is... And, watch this. Of course there is, has actually not the worst niche fan art I've ever seen, thankfully. That is pretty fucking gnarly, that fucking thing. That looked like what was on my stomach yesterday. Alright. Oh, man. Next. Okay. I also watched Belly of an Architect by Peter Greenaway. And it's pretty great. It's not my... I feel like this would be probably one of my favorites by him if I watched it again, because it's on a subject matter that I've been really getting into architecture lately. I don't know why. I think it's just like I unlocked a new strain of autism when I watched Hiroshi Teshigahara's Gaudi documentary. And it's also interesting because like it covers Boulez, who is a... He's an architect, but he never had anything built because they were physically impossible. But this is not his... This is one of his less stylistic movies. It's more, I don't want to say subtle. It's more mannered, especially compared to like The Falls or which I quite like, or Zed and Two Knots. But it's stylized more so in like the kind of the shot composition, which was quite architectural. I really like this poster too. It's kind of... I actually prefer this one though. I already showed... There's already ass and possible vagina in this, so I might as well show a little bit of dick stump in that. Who did the music? I really like the music. Let Let me see. It reminded me a lot of Philip Glass, but I'm pretty sure it's Michael Hyman. Let me see. This is the cast. I don't give a fuck. Makeup, art department, special effects, camera, music department. Glenn Branca. Wait, hold on. Am I retarded? Hold on. Why is Control F not working? Who did the fucking music? I don't know. I thought it sounded like it reminded me of a lot of Koyaanisqatsi at points, but it's probably not Philip Glass. It's probably Michael Hyman who did the fucking music to every other movie by him. Okay, I can't confirm that because I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have it. Oh, I liked this guy who was breaking off. He was see this. You know how Tariq Nasheed and other brilliant modern minds say that the noses of statues are broken off because that would betray they were once black. This is who is fucking behind it. This fucking Guinea. All right. That might. Can I say that? Can I say that on YouTube? All right. I don't have a lot to say about it, but I need to get more into Peter Greenaway. I've seen probably his more well-known stuff. I've seen. Fuck. Sorry. It's getting to that point. All right. I've seen The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover. I think I got that right. The Falls, Prospero's books, which I thought was visually my favorite by him, but I did not like anything else by it. I didn't realize it was an adaptation of The Tempest until like after I watched it, so I need to revisit that one. Zed and Two Knots, this, and I've seen a couple shorts by him, but I don't think a lot. But that's it. I have not seen Drowning by Numbers. That's the one I really need to see. And I think that's it. I can't think of anything else by him. But I wanna at least like rewatch some of his stuff and get into his short films definitely. All right, I liked that one a bit, quite a bit. All right, next. Brains Can. I don't really know why I watched this. I'm not sure why this was made. I don't really know. It's a very below average horror movie. I'm not really sure. I thought it was going to be something like Arcade, the Albert Pune movie. But it's, I don't know, it doesn't really take that much. I don't know. I don't know who made this or why. This is directed by John Flynn, and what he directed. Oh, he directed Rolling Thunder, but I looked at the rest of his filmography, and it just seemed like he just directs fucking whatever. I thought like the kills were not. It's not like, it just doesn't it does not excel in absolutely anything. I hate the look of the bad guy, the demon, even though he has a good performance. What's his fucking name? T. Ryder Smith. He's done nothing else, but he's pretty good as the trickster, even though the character sucks in every other regard. I hate his design, and I hate saying that because it's done by Steve Johnson, who's a great special effects artist. I have a funny story related to Steve Johnson. I have a contact in Hollywood. I won't say who it is because that would really fuck things up for me. But I was talking to him on the phone, and he said that he worked for Steve Johnson. He's like, well, he said something like, yeah, my old boss was like a crackhead, and his name was Steve Johnson. I burst out fucking laughing because I knew exactly who he was talking about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about this fucking movie this much, but I watched it. Oh, I will say, she was cute in this. I felt bad because I said that she aged badly, but then I compared her to fucking Edward Furlong. It's like maybe maybe I am a misogynist. I besmirched this queen by saying she aged worse than Edward Furlong, incidentally. Okay. All right, fuck it. Next. The Crazy Family by Gakuryu Ishii. I think that's how you say it. He also is known by Sogo Ishii. And I really like this one too. It reminded me, when I was watching it, I'm like, this is something Yorgos Lanthimos is going to remake one day. I guarantee you. And he'll remake it, and he will suck all the fucking energy out of it. Because this hour is an hour movie. I'm sorry. Oh, it's getting late. Okay. He would suck the fucking energy out of this. He would make this 2 hours and 15 minutes for no reason. He will cast all his meme actors into it. And he will, like, I don't know, he would just take all the fucking fun out of this. But this was one of his earlier movies. Okay, I'm quite familiar with him. He's kind of all over the place for me. August, I really need to rewatch August in the Water. That movie has probably my favorite soundtrack of all time. The movie doesn't quite live up to that, but I need to revisit it. And I really like his little it's not really a concert movie. It's more like a visual album for Habermensch for Einstürzende. I'm getting drunk. Einstürzende Nabaten. Fuck. But so this was 1884. I think this was after his movie Burst City, which I think was his first big one. I'm not sure. I'm not terribly familiar with the story. But this was a weird movie because it's very clearly low budget, but they do a lot of really crazy ambitious shit in it. Like in terms of like how they just like this movie came out 42 years ago, but they like completely fucking destroy a house in a really big way. But basically what this is just that a family moves in and they eventually just lose their fucking minds and want to kill each other. And that, I guess that's like that's what reminded me of Yorgos Lanthimos, especially like Killing of a Sacred Deer. But my point was that it feels very low budget, but again, it's like I guess they just allocated all their resources into just blowing up a house, I guess. But this is really fun. And it's not like too disturbing or grotesque in any way. And pretty lighthearted. Oh, I will say, I wonder if this is a stupid observation. The son is named Masaki Kobayashi, and I don't know if that's a reference or not. But I don't know. The whole family is called the Kobayashis, but I don't know if that was a reference to the director. But all right, next. Dragon Slayer. I watched this because I was sick and I wanted something cozy, and it was kind of. Speaking of AI, this is what all those dark 80s fantasy Minecraft if it was dark 80s fantasy movies. This is what I'm sure this is what it was based off of. It's not as it definitely isn't as good looking as Legend, which even though I probably like this more than Legend, Legend is a gorgeous movie. And probably has a bit more going for it. But the Floyd in this movie is exactly my type. I don't know what it is, but women who are having to pretend to dress up as men, that just really gets my fucking goat going. I don't know why, but I was pretty surprised at how kind of dark it is. Like the whole premise is that they're sacrificing virgins to the dragon to die. And the king is corrupt and is keeping his daughter from the lottery, basically. And this is 81, so this is pretty early. So PG-13 did not exist back then. So, but yeah, I'm not really sure who this is. I can see why this bombed, because it's definitely not for kids, which is not a problem. But And I did appreciate how, again, pretty. I mean, it does take like it does take halfway till the movie till you actually see Verminthrax, but it is very, very, very simple and to the point, which I quite liked. And yeah, obviously, I mean, like the big reason I watched is because I'm interested in Phil Tippett's Go Motion. I feel like, I mean, I definitely want to try to experiment with that for one of my projects someday because I feel like Go Motion's a technology that never really reached its potential, and I feel like you can get some really, especially with modern technology, you can get some probably amazing results with it, but we're never going to see that. But I mean, if you've heard of this movie, you've probably seen it already. All right. And the last movie I'll talk about because I am about to die is Casanova. By the way, I was like, I don't know, when I was just thinking of like, I fucking hate Hassan Piker so goddamn much, but I was just thinking about him talking about how streaming drains him. It's like, I mean, he's like a big, loud, I'm trying to think of a way I can say this without being saying a slur, but he's just like, he's obviously very, very extroverted and people oriented and has very little going on in his spirit. So I don't really know why like socializing would drain him so much. Me, I'm like a fucking weirdo who doesn't speak to anyone ever. So I guess you expect me to fucking feel worn out talking for an hour straight, but I don't know. I need to stop being such a fucking baby. All right. Last movie I'm going to talk about, because my voice is giving out again, is Fellini Casanova. I am very mixed on Fellini. I really love Satyricon. That's my favorite movie by him by far. And I am not honest. It took me like 3 or 4 tries to watch 8.5. And I finally finished it last year, and I was like, okay, it's whatever. And I also watched Amarcord last month, and I had similar feelings to it. I watched this because this is a lot closer to Satyricon in terms of it's a period piece. It's very, very like lots of weird fucking degenerate shit going on. It's definitely not as impressive or good as Satyricon. What was another film by Fellini I watched? Oh, Roma. I actually liked Roma. Roma's kind of like a modern. It reminded me, yeah, it's more like this, where it's more like big and there's a lot of like vignettes. I guess Amarcord's like that too, but I actually liked Roma quite a bit. But I really, really liked a lot of the production design in this. Like I love, like obviously the sequence was pretty fantastic. I love this visual. Yeah, like the weird. Yeah, like this is it. Fuck. Yeah, like this is a lot more like the kind of shit you would see in Satyricon. It also kind of reminds me a lot of Caligula, but then again, Caligula reminded me a lot of Satyricon too. My big contention with this movie, I actually have 2 big contentions. One, very hackneyed. I think it's too fucking long. Well, whatever. I'm just a fucking retard with no attention span. But the other is that I know that Fellini made this because he hated Casanova and wanted to shit on him, which I guess mission accomplished. And I'm like Donald Sutherland in terms of like portraying like an unlikable, pretentious asshole. I guess he does a good job of it, but I don't know. I did not like him. Oh, but yeah, I like this sequence a lot. It reminded me a lot of Werkmeister Hominies. I wonder if that was the inspiration, but I'm sure that was based on a book, so I might be wrong. But apparently I read alternate castings for Casanova. I know like think Jack Nicholson was one, and I would have honestly much preferred that to Donald Sutherland. I like him as an actor, but I don't know. I feel like I can. I don't know. I feel like I have a harder time buying. I mean, like both Donald Sutherland and Jack Nicholson are both kind of ugly. But I don't know. I can buy Jack Nicholson as a womanizer a lot better. I mean, he's definitely he's too American though. He definitely has a much more American kind of energy. So I guess that would be. I know like Donald Sutherland's American too, but he feels more European, I guess, in a weird way. I don't know, I would have probably enjoyed this a lot more if Nicholson was who else? There was someone else. Let me see. Since I'm already like fumbling the bag, let me pull up fucking Wikipedia. Hold on. Was it Oliver? No, I don't think it was Oliver Reed. Who else? There's someone else. Oh, Robert Redford. That's a weird fucking choice. I don't know what the fuck that. Okay, yeah, Jack Nicholson should have been the lead in this, but besides that, I liked it. I liked all the weird shit in it, and it was this period in time, like the wigs and the costumes, and how fucking dirty everything is just like fucking sickening to watch for me, and in a intended way. But it's like, obviously this is not meant to. This is meant to be more satirical and not erotic. But like, good lord, it is kind of just imagining how people fucking smelled back then under all that fucking powdered makeup and gay fluffy dresses. Like, good god, and how like no one shaved and they had fucking crabs and shit. This is so fucking disgusting. All right. On that note, I'll call it. Lores better share that clip of me showing my Blu-ray so people will actually fucking watch this. So, okay, I'm about to fucking die. I will try to record a new episode on this weekend. Oh, I meant to talk about what I did for my movie, well, on my production, but it's not that big a deal. I'll just save it for later. All right. My throat's about to give out. All right, bye.